Hi, if you'd like to come on in, have a seat. We're going to scry the afterlife tonight. This is our scroll that will inspire our session to the aura of the afterlife. Any spirit messages that are coming through, we'll add on tarot and oracle along the way. And as well, the spirit box here is already on. So if you'd like to join me, I'm grateful. Thank you so much for holding space for me to share my insights as we together explore the afterlife aura. I'm going to take a moment here to cleanse the palate, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. Let's go.
Poisoned.
Were you poisoned, love? Were you homeless? Okay, so I'm seeing lots of cat energy, feline energy, symbol energy. I don't know if there's symbols. Okay, so I feel as though I am receiving, the way I'm reading it is a message from spirit to those spirits currently incarnate, so you and I. It's like there's a whole story going on, like you start here until you take this adventure like a fish in a channel. And then I met with this cat. Kind of feels like a Cheshire cat with a Teddy Graham at the crown, like the cracker. And something about sleep state. And then I get on a boat. And this boat takes me somewhere. There's people on it. I kind of feel like I might be in Italy because there is a person standing, but I know... Oh, sorry, I have to get off my foot. There's somebody standing on the boat with me. There's people there. Let's see if I can share that with you. Like right down here. See, like there's the two people, and then there's like one person. I feel like it's a guide or a guardian.
Give it back.
If anyone's traveling, considering traveling. And then I'm seeing a leaf with a snail crawling, or do they crawl? Or is it like a sluggy slither? Anyway, a snail going to like the edge of a leaf. I feel like that if anyone's like been thinking about traveling or going somewhere or working towards something, they're like bringing this message in, like we are with you. Your guides are with you. Your spirit guardians are with you. Somebody very specifically in your family as well. I'm seeing like a brother and sister to a parent, or again, a guardian that you share. Could be twins, and like you... that's a very interesting like sidebar to that message. Okay, and then so I'm like taking this adventure. The Cheshire Cat kind of leads me into one space, and then but there's this other opportunity, and I don't know if it's a conflict or something else that's happening in the aura of all that is. Okay, so I'm seeing it like first of all, I'm seeing it like Fred Astaire. Some sort of finesse in moving around. And then I'm seeing it like a movie where, you know, when they always have like their guns ablazing, but there's there's a standoff, and it's like, but everyone's got their, that's what I'm seeing happen. And then it brings me into this like winking skeleton that's being rebuilt, like something's being rebuilt. Oh, okay. So like guns ablazing, 5 of spears. Of course, if this means anything to you, that's up there. Is it like combat training? Is there people training? People training? Somebody's getting married as well.
What happened to me?
Somebody's getting married. I think you might have been in combat, love, if you're one of the spirits here in this multi-dimensional story here. So it's like I took this channel and I met this Cheshire cat that was, very curiously leading me into different directions, or saying very plainly but peculiarly, as we are here together. I make this, on one hand, I see like making a connection of like marriage or ceremony. And then I see like brother and sister with the parent. Then I see, like I said, with the boat.
Color.
And people moving on. Floating. It's a floating. Slowly but surely. And then there's this other layer of this Five of Spears combative kind of feel. You know how I'm seeing it is... Okay, I'll use clouds because it's probably the easiest for me. When you see like one layer of clouds move one way, but the other layer of clouds is doing something different. That's what that makes it feel like, that standoffy thing. And as that's happening, I'm moving in towards this. Okay, the combat, the Tower and the Queen of Cups in the reverse, if any of those mean anything to you. I think this is what is shared, regardless if I'm taking this boat because something has happened. Queen of Cups could be in a state of grief. Tower, right? If my partner passed, if a parent passed, if I'm in a combative situation for one reason or another, maybe it's a veteran that's stepping forward, or somebody who really had to like fight to exist. I feel like the Tower is shared. Something about, it's an emotional tower. Okay. So now I'm like in this movie where I'm seeing, it might be Ready Player One. It might be Ready Player One. And one of the characters is,
what do you mean?
Is like building a robot, like, or a bigger character piece by piece. And that's what I'm seeing being built. But I'm seeing it like a big skeleton. Oh. Is it like the immune system's having to battle like many different things at the same time? Yeah, okay. So I could definitely follow that, because in the Tower card up here, this is standing out like these spikes. And now a skeleton's being built with that really big character, like a new skeleton. Goodbye. Thank you so much for your support. And that's why the Queen of Cups is in the reverse, because it could be something in the immunity. Very interesting. I'm going to keep going here. If you want to keep, like, share, subscribe, and join me. Thank you for traveling with me through this very curious story, but I'm digging it. So that big machine thing comes out. And now I'm seeing like a slicing and dicing. There's something about a machete as well. There's some sort of punishment. I'm also seeing, interestingly, like a Stephen Hawking. There's a feline, like a cat, that's watching. You know, cats I kind of don't care. Or that's at least what we apply to how we perceive them. But I'm seeing this punishment. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just simply an agreed upon understanding where punishment is applied. Maybe there's something being cheated in the realm of... I kind of feel like I'm in Wonderland. That's rotten. Or something about that. Maybe it's just a rotten Cheshire cat. Anyway, the King of Coins and the Six of Swords. So there's that boat I was talking about earlier. This King of Coins kind of brings me into the feel of like the Stephen Hawking vibe and whatever that may mean to you. Like somebody who knows something or knows different things. Very intelligent, very intelligent. But then there's this other part that makes me feel like something's being punished. Me personally, in the simplicity of my way of being able to understand things sometimes, I'm seeing it like science and spirituality. And those are big, broad terms. Something's being punished. But it's almost like, let's just say, like science is holding up this thing to say, yeah, punish this, or to have religion nix that. So they could actually be working in conjunction with each other in some cases. Does that make sense? I don't. Maybe science and religion, or science and spirituality. I'm going to say spirituality just to place everything under there. There's something about babies being born. And I think they might be the ones that are being... oops, sorry. I think babies are kind of getting the effects of this immunity type thing. People are fighting for what they believe is right, or to dispel what they feel is wrong. I'm not, if fighting for, just a conversation I'm going to have here out loud, if fighting for what you think is right, does it actually dispel what is wrong? Or is that part and parcel? And then, okay, so now I'm seeing the punishment back in for those fighting for what they believe is right, and they're being punished for it. But right is a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Okay, so we're just rambling through that. And then I'm coming on up here where I see a drone. Seeing a drone. And this drone can turn into, it can be in the sky and it can be on the surface like a spider. It can crawl like a spider and it can fly. Oh, that was unnecessary. Didn't like that though, eh?
Back off.
This drone also has a being inside of it, but I don't know if this being is... I think it's just letting me know the way it's feeling, because it's like just a consciousness or a connectivity to someone or something that is conscious. I'm seeing a crown. I don't know if that's people in power or people of royalty. Maybe it has something to do with the royal family, or simply like somebody's watching. This drone is watching what I think is like, I'll share it with you. See if you like down in here, like I'm kind of seeing it like a crown, and there's the drone up there. Then I'm seeing like the game Asteroid. And if I turn this up, it's like now I can see like there's this, and see like this trifecta. And then we were talking about earlier, like that Mexican standoff, like everyone's pointing fingers or this, that, or the other. And then there's like this face. It's very curious what's going on down here as well. Quite the story. Obviously, Spirit's not chiming in too much because we're like, oh, yeah, don't want to touch that story. Well, it's very interesting Because I'm on this adventure with this fish, and
Singing.
I meet this Cheshire cat that is seductive. Yes, seductive. Third harvest, daughter of the woods. They feel the swell and the suppleness. There could be something about the next generation. The next generation with those babies. Protection did also come out. Moving through. For some reason, I don't want to keep those cards out there. That's weird. Then like the skeleton thing is being born. I know I'm recapping. Punishments, science and spirituality with this other cat. It's like a black cat. It's not the Cheshire cat. The drone to this crown because I'm seeing swans. Then I'm seeing like 3 different ways, 4 different ways, 5 different ways, 5 different ways of communication happening. I feel like I'm seeing airwaves. I feel like I'm seeing things being sent out, and maybe it's a pattern or particular order. First it does this one, then it goes this shape, then it goes this shape, and then it goes into that shape, and then it does this. And that might have something to do with the babies or something with generations to come, like it'll be slowly but surely. And it's bringing me into the show called The Gift. I don't know, I believe it might have been on Netflix. That's what that brought me into. Everything seems to be leading, and there's like points to stop and see something, to see something. There's a symbol. I don't know what the symbol means, so I will share. Like, this is how I'm seeing like the different shapes of the lines, and then it inevitably comes out through here to like extend it out. Like, this is where it's extending. All these different ways, these patterns, frequencies, I don't know what they are. And then they, kind of wander out. And this is where I'm at right now. Right here. There's a symbol. I don't know if that... It's kind of bringing me into the show Oak Island, which is interesting because I don't personally have a reference to... But like it's the secret, like there's a buried treasure there somewhere, and people have been treasure hunting this for, like yada 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 yada. Okay, so that's great. But they see all like these Masonic symbols somewhere or I think it's also like they go to Portugal and somewhere else. There's these symbols. I feel like these symbols are indicators of something. So I'm seeing somebody come out of something. It's not human. It's a different being. I don't know if it's being presented or it's like a portal. And this being walks through. But like things need to happen. Like energy needs to be generated for this. 8 of Spears is coming through. I think there's a lot of people working towards a common goal that seems to be seemingly separate. But I think that they're really working together. I don't know if this is time travel or like wormhole style, but I can see it. Okay. And okay, so where I was seeing a symbol before, now I'm seeing it in the clouds as like angels, or what for simplicity's sake one might refer to as an angel. Yes. They are also observing and watching. They like the feline, the black cat. It's not that they're not doing anything. They're working with individuals specifically based on their adventure. That's what that feels like. This realm. this realm is stepping forward differently to like walk among, or simply say, what is that word? To expose that we're here. Anyway, whatever the case may be. But this other realm stays kind of invisible. And the Ace of Swords comes in. And it's like the mental state. I feel like if anyone feels like their consciousness or their intuition or their intellect is being affected by something, there could also be like a sacred symbol that you create, you empower, because it can't necessarily be shared in the same way, to protect the sovereignty of your mindscape and to empower. Because but then I'm also coming into like this angel land, whatever angels mean to you, and apply whatever image you would like there, because they will help those who are almost helping themselves. And then we have the Queen of Spears and the Seven of Swords. If those mean anything to you, then Unseen, the Four of Coins. This is about, what I'm sensing is about building one's own stability. Okay, it's like some people are going to be handed a sword. Maybe it's to go fight a mental war. Some might go to physical, right? So different landscapes. Some might feel unprepared. There's also something about the banking system. I'm going to say banking system because we're in Game of Thrones cards here. Something about the stability of the bank. Something's going on that doesn't add up. Something doesn't when I come back to this A and this symbol. I'm going to add on a few more cards, and I'm going to move down the ink blot here in preparing to close. No, I'm not. I won't say that. Five of Swords as well. Five of Cups. And like everything just thrown out to the side. This reading is aggravating some sort of energy. It's also aggravating an energy. Possibly even of my own. Okay, but I'm going to keep going. That's fine. We have Five of Swords and the Five of Cups that have come through. And to recap, we started with the Five of Spears or the Five of Wands. That's a whole lot of stability that doesn't bring stability. It's like despair of money. There's a woman. Some woman is involved. I don't know who she is because I don't know enough about politics. I just don't. It's like, I'm going to say they, and I really don't know what that means, but I've got a King of Coins and the Queen of Spears that have really stood out here, with the Queen of Cups in reverse. Like this is some sort of emotional, it's already been done. I feel like this phase has already been done. The emotional waters, the blood, the veins, I don't know, something along that lines. The coins been made or transferred, this, that, or the other. Something about the symbols. They might already be moving on towards something else. Next phase with all those things. I'm seeing some sort of like a transformer mask. like the car that can turn into this. Is that the Transformers? Yes, it is. And
Flame.
they can all come together and build this. That's what that feels like. Things that seem separate aren't separate. They're just not separate. And it doesn't mean to say that they're still connected. They may have differences and go about things differently, but it's like they're not connected. And some people are putting out people to fight for whatever this is or stand up for. You know what it feels like? It's like a guinea or something like that. Like you would put somebody out like a guinea pig to take the fall or this, that, or the other. Maybe in regards to the money system, there might be a woman that will have to take the fall, or I don't know what it is. And this is like a grim reading here. And then 5 of Cups, it's turning grim. I'm going to work through it though, because that's the strength and sovereignty of souls to persevere for what they align with. 5 of Cups, 5 of Swords. The High Priestess is here. Okay, so 2 ways that I'm reading this. The Priestess, the Red Woman, Game of Thrones. Could have been, if I remember her story in any sort of capacity, it's like she was helping somebody who she thought was whatever terms they use in the show. Like he was the one in line or something like that. But then they all seem to think that. But anyway, nonetheless. And then she ends up, like, for whatever she done, or she felt she made a mistake. Something along that lines. So she might be
Whiskey.
working with somebody. This energy might be working with somebody in that respect. Parties of the respect. Like, again, I don't know. It's all very connected, even though it's trying to make me feel like it's not. The Red Woman. Okay, there's something else coming through when I come back to scrying the ink. Okay, so it's like there's I'm seeing an onion. First of all, I'm seeing an onion. Thank you. Is this peeling back the layers like history of an onion? What's being repeated? What's being... Oh, you know what? It's making me feel like the part of the onion that makes you want to cry, because it kind of does feel like, oh, this is upsetting. But then I see these beings come in. They look like they're in orbs, and they kind of look like Persian-y, or what I say Persian-y. I don't even know. It's as though I am history.
I'm scared.
Energies from history are stepping forward to support those that, again, I understand, love. It's not about this whole black and white thing that it's being led to. It's like people or someone or souls, the energies feel fight for what's right or what's wrong. But all the parties around that are connected. They've given an impression of right and wrong so that others, qualified or not, in different areas, whether it's in cups, whether it's in swords, whether it's in spears, whatever the case, or coin, it's all covered. It's all covered. And those parties are creating a polarity that doesn't exist because they are connected. Does that make sense? And these beings come in to support those who are navigating this entire wonderland that's gone awry. Closing out messages. Thank you for joining me if you've made it through this Scry story. I am truly grateful. It's been an adventure, and while it does seem kind of grim and weak and upsetting, it's coming through because it's strong. The opportunity to have Wonderland, which has its lesson in its purest form, but to know that there's still like the as above and below, the underbelly of it all. They do inevitably work together in our reflection. It's like, which Wonderland are we going to choose? Choose your own adventure. We have here werewolf change. So this is fun. Shapeshifters is coming through, and I don't want to empower one way or another the cultural lore, knowledge of shapeshifters. But in general, this is kind of falls in line with that. Excuse me. What you believe a shapeshifter to be is what it is. And there's a lot of shapeshifting going on. A lot of shapeshifting going on. A lot of distractions that change forms so fast. But there's symbols as markings along the way. Grief here. Some people don't want to hear it. The service that is being, again, even whether it's your own intuition, it's like follow your intuition. Some people don't want to hear it or can't hear it anymore. They can't hear it with that whole swords, the Ace of Swords. Some connection's been severed. Oh, it's weird. 33. Now all they can hear is the Banshee, and that's what they believe is the Banshee. Unseen here to close, we have here Treasure Dragon. And while I feel like definitely through this session, there has been some scary moments. There's been some, this is grim, but it's coming out to a number 4 as well of stability, and it's deep stability, like driving deep roots of what is real, what one wants, their wonderland, wandering the wonderland to be real and what to learn while you're here. And it's almost like those choices will decide the adventure.
Pain.
And the treasure of that. The treasure of that. And those that are willing to stand there and see like this majestic creature that could be very, very overwhelming. But if I may, it's for those that are kind of looking through, and it's like, I see you, and that truly is like the spirit of support with you, behind you, around you. Maybe dragon energy is something that you might really feel as well, that could really help you or help us or help one in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for joining me. This message was incredible. This was an adventure. Hopefully you found some meaning, a message that resonates as you wander through different versions of grief as anyone, or we perceive that and we can see it amongst others, the different variations of grief going on at different times. That's tough. And maybe that's a compassion to remember. For some reason, it's coming very clear, like the elements and the swords and the cups in different spaces, the different stages of grief in general. But grief, even like the little things of the day, the way things were, the way things I wanted them to be, the way things are going. And sailing towards what it is that you want. And when I say that, it feels like I suddenly saw the movie In What Dreams May Come, and he's like has to sail towards whatever dark places, I can't remember the name of it that they called it, but to inevitably get to his wife, that her soul was suffering, but he was willing to do that. One example. Okay. Till next time. Thank you.